Sometimes I get better at singing, sometimes it feels a lot like the weekend. I do my best thinking when I'm drinking.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Line Drunk. I'm Lee, your host. And for this week from the ATX Festival, I have the interviews that I did with Sadie Stanley, Lexi Underwood, and Griffin Gluck from Season 2 of Cruel Summer that you can watch on Hulu, Freeform, or ABC. It is a great show. This season, for Season 2, is set in July of 1999, December of 1999, and July of 2000. So they go through the Y2K, which is great. So be sure and check that out. Sorry for the background noise. It was like a round table interview where there was 2 interview hosts at each table, and then the actors rotated around. So that's why, and I've done everything in my power to fix the background noise, but it just screws everything up, like whatever I try to do. So I've tried just to leave it alone. Like I said, it was a round table interview, and there were 2 journalists to each table. So you'll also be hearing questions from Brianna from nerdsandbeyond.com. So check out her interview. You can read it instead if you want to, or listen on here. I did give some alcohol to Sadie Stanley and to Griffin Gluck because they are of age. Lexi was not underage, or she was underage, so couldn't give her anything. But listen closely as Griffin tries to open up his whiskey. Also, everybody was super kind. They all said they would do the podcast, Lexi when she's of age. But Sadie and Griffin said they both wanted to do an episode, so we'll see. Let's hope that they actually come through and we do like a full episode. But everybody was so kind, and I'm glad I got to interview these people. And please, please, please go watch Season 2 of Cruel Summer. It is really good. I've watched the first 7 episodes. I'm waiting for the final 3 to come out so I can watch it and see what happens. But it was great. The music was the best part of the show. If you grew up in that era, you'll love all the music. I mean, even if you don't, you'll love the music. But that made the show not that it wasn't great already, but it made it so much better. Like, I really enjoyed hearing the songs, and I got kind of dancing in my seat while watching the show. But enjoy.
Well, I was going to start by just asking you to tell us a little bit about what drew you to your character and why you decided to take on Cruel Summer.
Well, I was a fan of Season 1, just like a lot of other people. And I was excited to hear that they were doing a Season 2. As an actor, what drew me to the first season specifically was just the mere fact that the other actors were given the space to be able to create these characters, but 3 different versions of them, essentially. And be able to take you on that journey where you see them start off at one place but end at another place. And so for me, when I read the script, especially when I heard more about where Isabella's storyline was going, I was incredibly excited to jump into it because she's very different from the other characters that I've played before, and it's really fun to step outside of my comfort zone and try something new. I think I did that with this.
Okay, so I do a drunk podcast.
Oh,
I know you're
wow.
underage.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of drinking in the show.
Yeah, there is.
Drinking rules that you would make up for the show.
Drinking rules that I would make up for the show? Oh. My gosh, I'm like trying to think. Like, drink every time Freddie says something stupid. Like something like that, you know? Drink every time. Yeah, we would be wasted, honestly. Drink every time Isabella. Oh, no. Drink every time Brent creeps you out. I feel like that's another one if you've seen some of the episodes. He gives you a little, or drink every time a NSYNC song pops up. That's another good one. I think those are like the top 3 for me that are coming to my brain. Yeah.
So you said you watched Season 1, so I have to ask, whose side were you on while you were watching it?
I was on Jeanette's side, but then Jeanette let me down, sadly. I feel like a lot of people were on Jeanette's side. Kind of a bummer how she let us down.
It felt like such a triumph until the last 5 seconds.
It's the last 5 seconds of it. I'm like, how do you make us even believe? Like, I was like, when she was on the talk shows, I was like, you go, girl. Playing your good name. Offering to let us down a couple minutes later.
Okay, so it's set in 99 and 2000. I watched the first 7 episodes. I'm sad I can't watch the other ones yet.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the technology that were being used, and then Y2K in general, because it was a big thing back then?
Yeah, I mean, I love it, honestly. I wish that I was a 90s teen. The mere fact that we were able to kind of immerse ourselves into that world and feel like 90s teens for like 6 months was really cool. I'm obsessed with the fashion. I'm obsessed with the music. I'm obsessed with the hair, the makeup looks, all of it. And I think that the technology specifically, that's a time that we should kind of like go back to. I like social media, but I also think that it's cool to like be able to, you know, detach for a second and really spend time with those that are around you. And also like being able to play with like the old MacBook and like the pagers and stuff. It was really cool. I was a baby, like I came out, I was born in 03, and so I feel like the MacBooks, everything was just kind of like starting to progress. So I got to experience a little bit of the glory days, but not as much as I would like.
Well, the storyline, you know, we see 3 different segments of time. Last year it was years, but this time it's over like 18 months. So with the way filming was done, I spoke with Niall and he said it was a little bit of jumping around. So how did you as an actor sort of tackle going from, you know, the summer of 99 and then you're right at 2000? How was all of that?
Yeah, it was really interesting. It was interesting having to navigate and stay on track because there were days where we would film all 3 timelines in one day. And I feel as though having an incredible team, especially the same team from season 1 that already knew the structure and knew how chaotic sometimes it could feel as an artist, they guided us every step of the way. I don't feel as though I've ever had to like trust a director or a writer more than I have, you know, in that moment, because kind of feeling as though like you're going on a journey kind of blindly. But I think that that's also really cool because us as human beings never know what's we can't predict the future. We don't know what's going to happen in our lives. So especially for timeline 1 and timeline 2 was cool because it really was authentic. I had no clue what was going to happen for futures of what it was going to look like.
She's good at asking the TV questions about the
Yeah.
show. But I was going to ask now. I got my train of thought. But
You've done that like
favorite
3
TV show, like current TV show, not like all-time show, and then favorite guilty pleasure show.
Okay. Ooh. Favorite TV show right now is Succession. Favorite all-time show is A Different World. And then guilty pleasure show is anything on Bravo, so Vanderpump Rules right now, just because I'm really obsessed with this game. So, yeah, or BoJack Horseman. It's not really a guilty pleasure though. I'm very like open about my love for BoJack
It's
Horseman.
a bad term, but it's
Yeah, but it's for
I feel guilty for nothing.
you should not feel guilty for
like
anything.
literally. I feel guilty for nothing.
Do not feel guilty for something you
Thank
love.
you so much.
Thank you all. It was so nice talking.
I like to always start with it being new characters and a whole new storyline. What drew you to it? Did you watch season 1? Did you know what you were getting into with it? Like, why did you decide to join the cast?
I think this is a good thing. I was interested in the character when I got the audition for season 2 without even having seen season 1.
Really?
I just really liked the storyline, and I obviously watched the show after I got the audition for context and stuff, and I finished the show. I was hooked once I actually booked the role. But yeah, you know, what's funny is I'm actually friends with Kiara Aurelia, who plays Jen in season 1. She's a good friend of mine, so I had to apologize to her. I was like, sorry I slept on your show for so long. It's actually really good. But it was a good thing, you know. I was glad that I liked the show without even having seen it at first. I just liked the concept of it, the structure, and the character description as well. Although that changed over time.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm sad we can't watch the last few episodes.
They gave us 7 of them, and that was it.
I got 7 of them too.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen 8 and 9, but I haven't seen 10 yet.
Okay, so I do a drunk podcast.
Well, I
Would you like
I knew of it, but I haven't watched it yet.
I've got vodka
I think
or
I just like missed
whiskey.
it somehow. But
Which one would you
I
like? Whiskey.
waited
Okay,
until I
it's a peanut
booked
butter
the role
whiskey.
to
Ooh,
watch
sweet. What is
season
this?
1. I think I just didn't
Like
psych myself out.
Bird dog, peanut butter flavored
So
whiskey.
after I finally booked it,
I couldn't ask Lexi because she's underage.
Oh, that's fair.
made me so excited to get started.
Oh, okay.
You can have it.
Oh, sweet.
Drink it right.
Just not at the moment.
No, you can like buy 100 have it. You just can't drink it.
Hey, we aren't going to say anything.
What'd you say?
We aren't going to say anything.
I was just gonna slip it in there.
I'm not gonna drink it right now.
Anyway, drinking rules for the show.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of what would you put in
What would
it?
yours?
Oh,
There's a lot of drinking in the show.
Like, what would be a good drinking game?
Drinking game.
That is such. Depends, I think, on who's watching it. Because I watched it with my friends and we played a drinking game. Every time they made the show makes like a 90s, 2000s reference that we don't understand, drink. And my friends got pretty drunk. I think the killer line that got everyone was a Zodiac full of Zima. And everyone's like, we don't know what either of those things are. I was like, double drink? 2 drinks right there. But let's see, for everyone to play along,
And it was such an ambitious shoot schedule.
I'd say every time there's the cruel summer close-up, that's what they call it. It's our special shot, which is where you like push in really high and tight above, like right here, and get that shot right there. There's a decent amount of those. That's gonna get you drunk. Okay.
That's a good one. Like sometimes
I was going to ask, obviously you can't say spoilers or anything, but is there a certain either moment you can allude to or a specific episode that you're really excited for fans to see that you're kind of waiting for it to air?
You know, I don't think this is that crazy of a spoiler. I think I can say this. Because in episode 1, you see obviously Luke and Megan are not together in the first timeline, and they are in the second. And I think episode 7 is a really beautiful episode because it shows, the drastic differences between the very beginning of the relationship and closer to the end of the relationship. I think 7 might be my favorite episode for that reason. Because there's a lot of really cute moments and there's a lot of heavy hitting moments.
I think that was my favorite one we watched so far.
I wanted to know what I needed to 8 because of way 7 ended.
Yeah, 8's dramatic.
So what was
Eight's
your?
heavy.
I hope so.
8's the one I'm most nervous for people to see.
Do we have to wait till July? That's what I want to know.
I guess that when it comes out.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on because it's set in '99 and 2000 on Y2K, like the technology you had to use for the show?
What are my thoughts on the technology? I like it.
You're fine with it?
Yeah, I was super fun with it. I really liked Jeff's VHS camera. Like, we actually shot that on a real VHS camera. And we had that at all times on set. And they would let us play around with it, and then when they needed to get the real footage, they would take over. But I mean, I've become obsessed with the whole camcorder, VHS thing. I started carrying this thing around. But then other than that, let's see, there's this massive boom box that weighed 20 pounds. They had to slip DVDs into her CDs. And sorry, my bad. Excuse me.
No, it just makes me feel old. I don't know about you.
I grew up with CDs. My Kids Pops, are you kidding? Couldn't get around town without my Kids Pop.
I think they're on 89 right now or something.
Are they still
65? Yes.
They still make them.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't even want to know what number they're on.
So yeah, no, I didn't even know. I didn't even know if I was.
If you could have 3 words only to describe the season, what would they be?
Let's see. I would say, I'm going to hyphenate one of them. Teen angst, mystery, and nostalgia.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think those are the 3 words.
See, she's good at asking the show questions. I'm just whatever. Favorite TV show right now, current show, favorite all-time show, and then guilty pleasure shows.
Ooh, okay. I'd say favorite show right now. I just finished Barry.
Okay.
Yeah, season 4. series finale, so good. Love that show. So good. Favorite show of all time, I'm going to go BoJack Horseman. If you talk to Lexi, she's got the same answer.
She said the same thing.
us.
Yep. We bonded on that. And then I'd say like my guilty pleasure show. Every once in a while I throw on like Third Rock from the Sun. Sitcom. What is that? Like the 80s or 90s?
It was early 90s.
Early 90s?
I think like back and forth maybe to the end of the 90s, I think.
Yeah, that show's awesome. It's got some humor in it. It's like a little like wouldn't slide now.
A lot of shows do.
A lot of shows do. But yeah, I really love John Lithgow and Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that show. So good. And the guy who plays, what's his name? French Stewart. Yeah, so good. And dude, it's the whole cast is so good.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your whiskey whenever it gets it back.
Mom.
You're gonna have to wait till after the panel on that.
Kicking you out again.
That's so okay, Sadie.
Hey guys. How's it going?
How are you?
I'm Sadie. Lee, nice to meet you.
Sorry, I was trying to make a new recording.
you're good.
Brianna.
Brianna, nice to meet you.
You too. Okay. They're not giving us a lot of time, so we're gonna jump right in.
All right, let's do it.
First, I love your outfit.
Thank you.
So cute.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Yes. What drew you to the role? What made you decide, like, yes, Cruel Summer? Had you seen season 1?
I had not seen season 1. I knew of it, but I hadn't watched it yet. I think what first intrigued me was the 3 timelines, though. Even having not seen the first season, just reading the first script, I was like, wow, this is really interesting. I've never seen like timelines and flashbacks being done in this way, in this format, and it was really cool to me because it's like, you know, they stressed to me in the audition process from the very beginning they wanted those 3 different timelines to feel very different, and for Megan to feel like she had changed a lot. So I was basically playing like 3 different characters. Who doesn't want to do that? Like, that's so sick. So I loved that aspect of it, and then as soon as I booked the role, I then sat down and watched all of season 1 in like 3 days. I think I just didn't want to psych myself out or get myself too excited. But then, yeah, after that I was like, this is what I'm getting into. Okay, I love it. Let's do it.
So I do a drunk podcast. She's going to take us away, but would you like a bottle of vodka or
Oh
whiskey?
my god, I can take it right now?
Well, she'll take it away. But you
She
can
took
have
it from
later.
Griffin.
Oh.
I think you're allowed to have
I've
it
got
later.
blueberry or prickly pear.
Oh my god, so cute. That sounds
They're
yummy.
so good. Or I've got grapefruit.
Let's do prickly pear.
I'm not going to take it. No, I tried to open it. You just can't drink
Oh, I'm not going to drink it now, but
You can have
You can 100% have it. You are of age.
Griffin definitely was going to drink
Yeah,
it.
oh yeah, he was like ready to crack it open, put it in his coffee.
Okay, so I'm curious, Goldbergs. Great
Goldbergs,
show.
thank you.
We went from the 80s to now 99,
I know.
2000. Should we go to like 2010 next time?
I don't know, maybe. I feel like it's too soon to get into like, you know, 2014. Like, why, that's too soon to like dive back into that. You know what I mean? It's not as nostalgic, it's more cringy. But I love the timelines thing.
Okay, so I've asked the 2 of them too. What drinking rules would you have for the show? Because there's a lot of drinking in the show.
Oh my god, so good. Oh my god, we've talked about this. Anytime somebody takes their shirt off, I think it's fine. Anytime like Freddie or Tim say something like gross. Anytime anybody says right or die. Anytime Megan makes a toast, she makes a lot of toasts. You gotta chug your drink for sure. What else? Anytime there's like a shot from above of somebody's like forehead. Really? Okay, that's like the Cruel Summer close-up, and that happens like every scene. So you're gonna get drunk. Great.
Those are awesome. Okay, well, like you were saying, you sort of are playing 3 different characters crammed into sometimes one day. So how did you kind of balance that as an actor going from, 99 to 2000, Megan?
Yeah, it was definitely challenging at first. It took some getting used to. Like, there's obviously all the physical changes. Megan has a vastly different style in every single timeline, which is really fun for me. I get to play around, but on the day when you're switching back and forth, it can be a little bit exhausting to take all of the black eyeliner off and the piercing off and unslick my hair and put it in a ponytail and re-put makeup on, you know what I mean? So there's the physical changes and there's also the emotional aspect. It's emotional whiplash. One day going back and forth, crying in the middle of the day, laughing in the beginning of the day, screaming at the end of the day. It was challenging. I mean, it really stretched me as an actor, and it forced me to really be on top of things and really know my character and really be able to tap into things really quickly, tap into her headspace really quickly. So I came out of it a better actor, for sure.
Okay, I'm curious. I asked them too. 99, 2000. So what do you think of the technology, and what did you think of Y2K?
I
And then you're like, because you went goth, well, not really goth, but like darker.
I like
Emo.
grunge.
I like emo
grunge,
grunge.
Yeah, emo grunge. As far as fashion goes, love. That was so much fun. I was already, I mean, Y2K, like, trends were already kind of coming back, so I was loving that. The costume department was so much fun. Music was such a huge part of it. We were always playing throwback tunes. I had 3 different playlists for each timeline, you know, of like what Megan would be listening to. And yeah, the whole technology thing was interesting because Megan's a coder. I know nothing about computers, even you know, in modern times. But my brothers are both into computer science and code and know how to do all of that, so I kind of learned from them a little bit. I had to do some research because it's very different in Y2K, like the whole internet situation was very different, so I kind of wanted to know what I was talking about. Some YouTube videos and some research was done. But yeah.
So going into it, did you know the outcome of the story, or did they kind of keep it from you and you saw what happened as you filmed? Read the scripts.
I knew a little bit. I mean, it's not just who did it, right? It's like everything that leads up to it. Like, it was so much more complicated than that. So I knew a lot, but not everything. So that was kind of difficult at times because I didn't even know if like I was the bad guy, you know. So it's kind of crazy to like play those scenes and not even know.
But helps you get into it, right? Because
yeah,
I mean, she wouldn't know that.
Yeah, but you know, in those third timelines, she would know because it was post-event, and I didn't even know like so in that case, I had to really like kind of put my hands up and put a lot of trust in the showrunners and the directors and be like, okay, as long as I'm getting different options of different performances, they can find what works based on the editing. But yeah, and I know my character and I'm just gonna like show up as Megan and that should be enough. So it was really fun. And it was a little scary though, not knowing.
The music was great.
Yeah.
Last question, go for it.
Okay. Favorite TV, like current TV show, favorite all-time show, and then favorite guilty pleasure show.
Okay. Favorite all-time show, New Girl. Favorite current show, I just started Yellow Jackets.
I haven't watched it. I have Showtime.
I'm literally only 1 episode in, but I feel like it's gonna be my favorite. I don't know. Everybody's like in love with it, so maybe that or White Lotus was really good. Favorite guilty pleasure show, Love Is Blind or The Ultimatum. I'm watching The Ultimatum.
Perfect Match.
Yeah, no.
That one is like on crack.
Any sort of reality show, I'm down for. Have you guys seen The Ultimatum Queer Love? It's The Ultimatum, but
No, but I've heard about
lesbian
it.
couples. I'm obsessed with it. So good.
Worth watching then?
What?
Worth watching then?
Worth watching. Juicy.
Okay.
I would love to come on my podcast and do like a regular episode. Where,
Did we get drunk?
Yes.
I'm 21.
It's a drunk
That's
podcast.
why I brought stuff. Is that an option later? at some
Yeah, hit me up.
I don't know how to hit you up, but there's yeah.
Okay, cute. Okay, fun. I love it. Sorry, Lex.
I'm sorry. I was gonna bring this.
Chug it now. She's not looking.
Do you want another one?
Got several.
Thank you.
Here, you want to put them in here for now?
Yeah.
Sometimes I get better at singing, and sometimes it feels